Hey, good afternoon. Welcome to the Tom Taylor Sports Show on this Wednesday, the 76th day we've been together. Thank you so very much in our 16th week. And very easy for you to find us right now, livestream.com. Then simply type in the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Like us and follow us on Facebook, facebook.com / or is that front slash? Is that a front slash or backslash right there?
They're all backslashes.
Oh. Okay. / the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Like us and follow us. And, all right, got some folks. We sent out a little, here's what's coming up on the show. And may we send out a big thank you to, here we go. Hit the buttons here. Want to say hello to, who was it? Oh, gosh, Gable just had the thing. Damon Depew, Josh King, and somebody else said they liked what we just sent out on the show. And why will I not do that now? What?
You and modern technology
this drives me
just don't
nuts.
seem to get along.
No, drives me nuts. It just happened. I just can't. Anyway, Josh King, Damon Depew, thank you, among others. Show, of course, we dedicate the show each and every day unashamedly to the man who hung on the cross. That's who drives the bus on this show. It'll be as successful as he wants it to be. And right now we're in 15 states and 5 countries, including the great state of Tennessee. Today's verse of the day, Proverbs 4, 5 through 9. The verse of the day, never forget my words. Do not depart from my wisdom, for it will protect you and watch over you. My wisdom and understanding will honor you and present you with a crown of splendor. Yeah. Never forget my words. Do not depart from my wisdom, for it will protect you and watch over you. My wisdom and understanding will honor you and present you with a crown of splendor. Proverbs 4, 5 through 9 is the verse of the day for today. Thanks for being with us again on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Lots going on again today. Well, the old boy down in Alabama, he's whining again. We'll talk about that. Actually, I almost agree with him this time. Nick Saban. We'll talk about that coming up in a few minutes. The Cavaliers punched their ticket to the NBA Finals. I think I read where LeBron, his 5th consecutive Finals. Say what you want. He's getting it done. Kayaspo.
I'm impressed. First time. There you go. Give yourself a ring there.
Hey, you got to break a few eggs to make an omelet. You know what I'm saying? That's the thought for this week from Gable. You got to break a few eggs to make an omelet. So anyway, Kayaspo trade maybe back on for the Dodgers and the Braves and the Brave third baseman. All that coming up. Marcus Mariota.
Wow, you're on a roll right now. I don't even know what to do with myself.
Yeah. Gable Hickett. No, wait a minute. Hackett. I got that one wrong. Gabe's with us today. Horseback tomorrow. Again, Gabe Hackett in the saddle today, punching the buttons and flipping the knobs. So we start, and coming up on the show a little bit later on, Dr. Barry Walton from Max Medicine Mart will be with us. Also, Greg Salyer with our weekly Reds report. The Reds actually won one.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Which, they turn right back around and they're down. No, they scored one in the bottom of the first, so it's only 3-1 right now in the second inning.
Big power outlet. They had a 2-1 win last night over the Rockies. 2 runs.
Hey, at this point, I'll take anything. I don't care if it's 1-0.
A win is a win
That's
is a win.
Right. That's right.
And so Greg Salyer will be along coming up right around the top of the hour of hour number 2, talking about the Reds and how they're doing on our weekly Reds report. And going to be treated to the, without question, the most famous and most successful female pro stock driver in NHRA history. She's going to be along a little bit later on this afternoon, and that would be Erica Anders Stevens. Yeah. And all she did last year up in Bristol, the Drags, was win the Pro Stock Championship at Bristol Dragway. First woman to win the Pro Stock Championship. She is the 2014 Pro Stock Champion for the entire circuit. And she joins us later on this afternoon here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. FIFA, FIFA, got some major problems with FIFA. Delve into this, my friend. What's going on? We got folks being arrested. We got the Department of Justice involved. Corruption everywhere. Just another black mark in the sporting world. By the way, as I say each and every show, I think I've said it this week, on this show, we take it for what it is. Sports is one spoke in the big wheel of life. I mean, you got ISIS, you got the economy, you got this, you got that. Sports is important to a point, but I don't ever go over the top with it. Try not to, because it is that which it is. Having said that, FIFA has stirred the waters. What's going on, big guy?
Well, basically what you've got is over the last 2 generations, there have been allegations of corruption charges among high-ranking FIFA officials that have taken millions of dollars in kickbacks and bribes that have more or less decided where the World Cup gets held every 4 years. The World Cup is the biggest international sport event every 4 years. It's up there with the Olympics and probably is even more popular than the Olympics. You have the Women's FIFA World Cup coming up here in June in Canada, which, while it's still good and very popular, it's nothing compared to what we saw, last summer in Brazil with the Men's FIFA World Cup tournament. And basically, the corruption charges that have come against these, I think they arrested 7 high-ranking FIFA officials right now, and along with some former ones that have since retired. But basically, in 2018, the World Cup is going to be held in Russia, and in 2022, the World Cup is going to be held in Qatar, in the Middle East. And so the allegations are that high-ranking officials took bribes from certain individuals to have the World Cup in Russia in 2018 and Qatar in 2022.
So here's an envelope, old Gabe. If you can see it in your heart to vote for Russia, here's a little envelope.
Here's a little something with your name on it. If you could just so happen,
gotcha.
And you've got millions and millions of dollars that come into your economy from all these tourists coming and fans to watch the World Cup every year, and so big bucks are involved. And unfortunately, it appears that these allegations do have some merit behind them. And unfortunately for FIFA, I mean, this is a dark stain. I mean, if this were an actual soccer game, this would be the equivalent of FIFA getting a red card.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. It's bad. This is not very good. FIFA has already stated that they're not going to take back the nominations for Russia and Qatar. That they're going to leave them. That's been done because I think that FIFA thinks that if they take those back, they're going to open up a whole another can of worms of when every time a nation gets awarded a World Cup tournament. So there were some thoughts that in 2022 Qatar might lose it to Los Angeles possibly, since the United States already has the infrastructure and the stadiums needed to host such a tournament. But FIFA has announced that they're not going to take it away from Russia and Qatar. The FIFA president, goodness gracious, what is his name?
Sepp Blatter.
That's right, Sepp Blatter. He is up for re-election for his 5th term, which to me, this reeks of...
And he's been let go.
Yeah, we need a change in leadership. You need a big change in leadership
I
with
agree.
2 generations of massive corruption charges coming against your organization.
Sepp Blatter. S-E-P-P is his first name. I don't know if that's short for whatever, and his last name is Blatter, B-L-A-T-T-E-R. So you got to know his mother was in a world of hurt, I guess, when she and his father, when they sit down and I'm not sure what provoked them to name this guy Sepp, which is neither here nor there, but interesting name. Sepp Blatter is the president. He's got to go. U.S. feds arrest top FIFA officials. He's not one of them. Now, I don't know how he dodged the bullet, but everybody below him in the second row of administration is in a world of hurt. They're in trouble. They're not moving the World Cups yet. Now, there is a chance, I'm reading this article, they may go back and just to clean everything up, and they may come back and re-award the World Cups. What did you say, Russia and
Russia
Qatar?
in 2018 and Qatar in 2022.
So now, do they have to go in and build like Olympic villages, like the Olympics?
They build these new stadiums. Everywhere does for these events. And I mean, if you saw some of the stadiums that Brazil had last year, which unfortunately it seems like when you hear about these major, either if it's the Olympics or if it's the World Cup, you hear about all these struggles to get these stadiums built on time. Because these are massive 80,000 people stadiums. They're very large buildings that take years to build.
Right.
And the worry is that these nations won't have the financial capabilities to build this stuff in time.
Yeah.
And so with you don't worry so much about Russia or China or Brazil, but when you start getting down to maybe Qatar, little Qatar, which makes a lot of money in the oil industry, being in the Middle East, but still at the same time, it's not easy building these massive stadiums in 4 years' time.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's not even 4 years now. You said 2018.
Yeah.
The meter's running.
You've got it's.
They better start ordering some cinder block and concrete over there. Get them going.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so FIFA's in trouble. World Cup's not moved yet, but stay tuned. The U.S. feds have arrested top FIFA officials this morning and yesterday, and so it is a black mark, very much so, on the professional soccer. It is professional soccer, right, or amateur soccer?
Well, It's international soccer. This is nations playing other nations. You've got all different kinds of leagues. Like, for example, in America, you've got MLS, Major League Soccer. In England, you have the English Premier League. In Germany, you have the Bundesliga.
The who?
The Bundesliga.
All right.
Everyone's got their own different league that they can play in.
Oh, this is a league.
But the FIFA is the governing body of soccer.
Who is the superstar Bundesliga's league? Who would that be? Do you know?
Oh, goodness
gracious.
Hans
Brinker, maybe?
Tim Howard, the former USA goalie on Team USA, he played there for years and years, and he had one heck of a final World Cup last year. Unfortunately for the U.S., came up a little bit short there, but he was one of the big stars out in the Bundesliga. Now, in the English Premier League, that's probably the best league in the entire in the world.
Oh, no question.
It's incredible.
The Bundesliga. Got it. It's good stuff. Anyway, FIFA, that's a big story this morning and this afternoon. U.S. federals, the federal marshals have arrested top FIFA officials, and so we'll see how all this shakes out. Obviously, there'll be you-know-who, attorneys involved and lots of them, so we'll see how that goes. That's one of the top stories. College football, Nick Saban not happy. The coaches are meeting the annual spring meetings in Destin, Florida. Some of them want the entire country to adopt their rules banning satellite summer camps. Some want the SEC to be on the same page with other conferences when it comes to accepting graduate student transfers. One of those being Nick Saban, the head coach of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Here's a quote. "These things need to be global, otherwise we're going to become a farm system for all the other leagues," Saban says. Then the first question we're going to get asked is, when we win 7 national championships in a row, reporters will ask, well, what's the state of the SEC? You haven't been in the championship game for the last 2 years. Saban made a passionate argument that the SEC, ACC, Big 10, Big 12, and Pac-12 need to have the same rules in all 5 leagues, all be singing off the same page. Saban, again, also talking about graduate transfers coming into the Southeastern Conference. The obvious, Notre Dame quarterback Everett Golson, who recently left for immediate eligibility at Florida State as a grad transfer. What's your thoughts on that?
I think
you're in grad school. What do you think?
I think he's got a legitimate argument.
I mean, you think they should be able to go?
Yeah.
You think it's okay for Golson to go to Florida State?
I don't see why not.
Okay. Well, he didn't want him. I guess his argument, Saban's argument, is we don't want this to be in the SEC. Alabama, Georgia, and Florida are SEC schools interested in Golson, but the SEC requires a waiver process approved by the conference commissioner to accept grad transfers. So Florida coach Jim McElwain said they visited with him but didn't get too far with him. Georgia coach Mark Richt declined to discuss the recruitment of Golson at all. Some SEC schools also up in arms over coaches and other leagues staging summer camps in the Southeast. I don't understand what the problem is. Help me.
Okay, well, the way that these satellite camps that they're called.
NCAA allows coaches to hold football camps on their own school campuses or nearby, but they're allowed to be guests at out-of-state camps. Many conferences don't seem interested in changing the NCAA rule, meaning to fall in line, the SEC would have to change its rule that currently prevents coaches from making guest camp appearances. Aha.
So what these are, basically, the loophole is that these turn into unofficial recruiting trips.
I would see that.
The SEC they don't allow their coaches to do this, but you have the Big 10, the Pac-12, the Big 12. Their coaches are all allowed to go to these satellite camps and more or less recruit, as guest head coaches, and basically talk to these players about, hey, why don't you come play for me? Jim Harbaugh at Michigan, he's got 9 of these camps in 9 days set up to go to.
He's getting paid for all of them.
And you can't tell me that he's not going to be going there talking to these players saying, hey, I'm at Michigan now. You want to come play for the Wolverines? But the SEC coaches, they're not allowed to do this as prohibited by the Southeastern Conference.
For example, Coach Torbush would have a camp at East Tennessee State, let's say, and he would like to have either Spurrier come back or Saban or somebody from the SEC. They can't come up here and be a guest at his camp, correct?
No, they are not allowed to do that. But the worst thing is if let's say Nick Saban holds a camp in Tuscaloosa.
Okay.
Harbaugh, Urban Meyer, those guys can all come down there into his territory, into his camp, and recruit players at his camp.
Well, he shouldn't be dumb enough to invite him to his camp.
They get to come anyways. It's not an invitation. They're allowed to come. He can't prohibit them from coming in.
Oh, yeah. If I've got
can't do it.
Oh, yes, he can.
No, he's not allowed.
That's
It's
crazy.
no, it's the NCAA allows these coaches to go to these places if they want to. The SEC does not allow its coaches.
Now, wait a minute. You done got the old cowboy fuzzed up here. Now, wait a minute. You're telling me Saban's got a camp in Tuscaloosa.
In Tuscaloosa.
All right. If Urban Meyer says, I'm going to come blow through there and wave, shake a few hands, sign an autograph or two, hang out with Nick, I can do that. He can't say no. We would prefer because
that's exactly right.
These guys,
they get to come into Southeastern Conference territory, the heart of it, and basically recruit in the backyard of these SEC teams.
All right. I've got a camp here in Tri-Cities.
Okay.
You're a hot shot. You're Nick Saban.
Okay.
All right. I want you to come to my camp. You can't come. But if you've got a camp and I want to blow through to your camp, you can't stop me from coming to the Alabama camp?
That's exactly right.
That's nuts.
That's what he's upset about.
Well, I
he's
agree
got
with him.
He's got a legitimate argument
Nick,
here.
I'm with you, buddy. That's nuts. Now, the question is, other than just to get under your skin, why would Urban Meyer, or we're just picking on Meyer, or a Coach Harbaugh, pick one, why would they go to an SEC camp
recruiting
if they're not invited?
It's a recruiting loophole. These coaches can go into these states where otherwise
even they're not welcome.
Even if because the NCAA allows it, you can't keep them out.
That is amazing. This
is why he's upset, and he's got a legitimate argument here.
I'm right there with him on this one.
This makes sense because the SEC does not allow its coaches to do this, and that's just within the conference.
What if he makes the call to Urban, says, and again I'm picking out Urban Meyer or Harbaugh, any of these guys, and say, we're kind of busy down here in Tuscaloosa. I don't know if you can say we'd appreciate if you didn't come, but they can't do that.
They can't do that. No.
That is nuts.
Because the NCAA allows anybody in the NCAA to do this.
I'm with him. I totally agree with that. I think that is bizarre.
And so
they come into the SEC territory and cherry pick recruits.
Yeah, Urban Meyer's trip in the next 9 days, he is going to Alabama, Florida, and Texas, the three biggest football states, other than maybe California, that you could think of, and that is SEC gold right there.
Oh, absolutely.
That is the gold trough that you recruit from, and he is just making his trip right down through there.
So what happens if I'm Nick Saban and I say I'm not going to let him on my campus? I'm not going to let him come to my camp.
He can't. He can't not allow it. No, he can't.
Sure he can.
No, the NCAA says he cannot allow.
This is America. You're not coming on my camp. You're not coming on my grounds to cherry pick and check out that Gabe Hackett guy who's a pretty good quarterback. And, hey, I'm Urban Meyer. I'm Jim Harbaugh. Man, so it's all one-sided.
It's all one-sided.
The only reason they're coming is to check out talent.
Yeah, and it's
Wow.
not supposed to be for recruiting.
Wow.
But it's a recruiting loophole because what else are these coaches saying to these guys?
Well, sure.
Hey, Ann Arbor's not too bad.
Yeah.
Hey, Columbus, we think you'd look awfully good in scarlet.
Saban, I'm with you, buddy. That is nuts. Now I'm not happy. SEC is getting an unfair because
which is why Saban would like this, for those top 5 power conferences, the ACC, SEC, Big 10, Big 12, and Pac-12. It is why he would like the same uniform rules for all of them, and I think he has a legitimate argument on that.
You stay on my sandbox, I'll stay on your sandbox.
There you go.
Right?
Exactly.
You play with your own toys, I'll play with my own toys.
But I also think some of it might be the fact that, the SEC hasn't won a national title in the last 2 years, which, not a very big deal compared to the 7 straight that they won. But I think when you start seeing a little bit of your power start to slip away, you might start getting a little jealous, getting a little worried that, oh no, I don't, it's been 2 years. What's wrong?
I agree with him totally. It's the Tom Taylor Sports Show again. FIFA and Nick Saban. One other topic before we head to the break here. We got the quiz show coming up at the bottom of the hour. Oh, Mario's starting to get tightened up. Tommy's going to ask me the questions. That's Elvis. The Apesters went long and hard and deep to find even more questions. We've been doing Elvis for, gosh, I don't know, 7, 8, 9 weeks. So 5 more Elvis questions coming up. We are playing for Frances Cottrell out of Kingsport. See if we can make her a winner and get her some free oil change and some free food from the Cracker Barrel, and also get her a couple of all-day passes to all the fun stuff at Bays Mountain Park that she won't have to pay for. It's all free. So all that coming up. We'll see you here in a few minutes. It's Elvis Trivia on Wednesdays. Also later in the show, we'll check in with Dr. Barry Walton from Max Medicine Mart, a dear friend who runs a great shop and a great store. Greg Salyer from the Reds Report coming up later on. And as we said a little bit later into the show, Eric Anders Stevens. Erica Anders Stevens, the most successful female pro stock driver in NHRA history. She will join us coming up later on here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. And again, as we promised, tomorrow, we start it tomorrow. We'll give you a chance to win tickets to the NHRA Thunder Valley Nationals. We'll get you qualified here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show to give you tickets to the Sunday, the final day, Championship Sunday, again at Bristol Dragway, thanks to Brandon and the folks, Julie and Brandon and the folks at Bristol Dragway. We got a pair of tickets for you to win to go to the Sunday Championship at Bristol Dragway Father's Day weekend. We'll start qualifying folks for that tomorrow. It'll be very easy for you to do, and you'll be able to do it whether you listen to us live on live stream or tonight or later on this afternoon on the podcast with YouTube, iTunes, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher phone app, and again, of course, livestream.com. There's 5 different ways you can listen to us, and all those you'll be able to register and qualify for these tickets. Will be given away coming up for the, again, Thunder Valley Nationals coming up on Father's Day weekend. Quick break. We'll be right back. We coming right back. We'll talk about LeBron James and the Cavaliers. Also a little closer to home, the Tennessee Lady Vols softball cranking up. They'll get going with their matchup tomorrow against the Florida Lady Gators. Talk about that and more. Also, the Big 7 Baseball Player of the Year has been announced. We'll let you know who it is and from what school he came from. All that straight ahead after this break on this Wednesday. It's Hump Day. Over the hump and through the woods to a wonderful weekend we go as you're listening to the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Oil is the lifeblood of your vehicle. Blaine Turner from American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City tells us an important role it plays.
Oil's actual number one job is for cooling your engine. Yes, you have your coolant and your coolant system, but oil actually is your primary coolant system. It pulls from heat from the hottest parts of the engine, and actually, has a higher velocity than, your coolant or anything like that. So no matter, when your engine hits those high temperatures, it's able to actually pull the heat out of there and help cool. As it pulls it out, it's a lot of wear and tear on it. So it gets dirty, it gets filthy because it's pulling the heat, pulling the dirt, everything like that. So it's very important to change it at the interval that it's due. If you have a standard oil, I would suggest 3,000. If you have a synthetic, I would suggest 6,000. Now, they do make different brands that go longer than that, but get with your mechanic and let them give you the information on which oil that is and whether your car's suited for that.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City. Call today at 913-3111. Kingsport Cabinetry installs cabinets and countertops all over the 3-state region. Owner Richard Isaac says they work with both commercial and residential customers and love to help remodel existing homes.
What we do is if somebody comes in and wants to do a remodel, of course, they've got an existing home, existing kitchen. It might be a bathroom, whatever, it doesn't matter. We'll come out and take a look at their project. We'll do the measuring for them, come back in. While I'm at the home, I'll get the ideas that they want to incorporate into the kitchen, into the bathroom. We'll come back, we'll draw it up for them, have them come in for a meeting and go over everything with them. And once the drawings and stuff are approved, then we'll start the pricing process. We'll find out what kind of wood they want to use, what kind of countertops. Do they want Corian? Do they want granite? Do they want laminate countertops?
Kingsport Cabinetry. Quotes are free. Call today, 247-6134, 247-6134.
Hi, I'm Rob Cole with Bays Mountain Park. There's something for everyone at Bays Mountain Park. Whether you're an outdoor enthusiast or simply looking to get away and relax, Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport, Tennessee is the perfect destination. For only $4 per vehicle, enjoy 3,500 acres of breathtaking scenery, featuring 40 miles of hiking trails, wildlife habitats, one of the Southeast's premier planetariums, and much, much more. For more information, please visit www.baysmountain.com or call us at 423-229-9447. Bays Mountain Park, one of the Tri-City's best places for learning, leisure, and recreation.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show on this Wednesday. Thanks for being with us. Again, Gabe Hackett in here flying with me today. Horace is back tomorrow, and then let's see, Cody's back with us next week. So got a couple of different guys taking their turns hanging with me, and I certainly appreciate that. Tennessee basketball. Tennessee basketball. You have Lamont Turner, recruiting class, 6'2" guard from Harvest, Alabama, is coming on to be part of the Rick Barnes staff. Coach Barnes doing a really good job down there getting these recruits. Kyle Alexander, Ray Kasango, Admiral Schofield, and Shambari Phillips These guys are coming on board now. Lamont Turner, 6'2" guard from Harvest, Alabama. And so he graduated from IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida. Also, Jana Tucker from the Lady Vols transferring. She's homesick, going back into Metro Baltimore, rated as a top 10 prospect by multiple recruiting services. And so she's out. And in for Rick Barnes' staff is Lamont Turner, a 6'2" guard from Harvest, Alabama, who graduated from IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida. He joins a Tennessee team that has no other pure point guards on scholarship. Again, keep your eye on Rick Barnes. I'm telling you, this guy was the all-time winningest coach, as everybody knows, at Texas. There's a reason for that. He's very good, and so Texas' loss is Tennessee's gain. I see this guy. What do you think? I see him turn the corner and turn this program around. I think he's going to do it pretty quickly. He's following Quanzo Martin and Donnie Tyndall, and I see him making a turn pretty quick for Tennessee basketball. I'm pretty excited about this guy.
I think that Tennessee basketball definitely since old Bruce Pearl was there has definitely been a lot better than they were when I was growing up. That's for sure. But even last year, I thought Donnie Tyndall did a very surprising job. I did not think that the talent that they had to work with was going to be remotely close to how well they did last season. But yeah, I think that unfortunately after Tennessee let him go, I think this new guy, that he's really going to be able to make them a competitive basketball team and maybe even make the big tournament here coming up next year.
Yeah, Donnie Tyndall, say what you want. I mean, he didn't have much to work with, and he got everything out of those guys, and they did, they were very respectable given the fact the talent pool wasn't what they expected at Tennessee and not what they're going to be having in the future, obviously. But anyway, did a pretty good job. Obviously ran into some trouble. But the new guy, Rick Barnes, keep your eye on him. I think he's going to be very, very good. Give him some time. And, again, he's went out and got some recruits already, and it didn't take him long to do that. So I think part of it, and you know this in college basketball, the connections. You can call up old Gabe that coaches, I don't know, in Northeast Tennessee. Hey, got any guys up there in any of the schools, not just yours, that you think could play Tennessee? Well, that was old Tom Taylor. He goes over to XYZ school. They want to check him out. I think the networking is what's key. And Rick Barnes, the all-time winningest coach at Texas, he's got the kind of talent he had with Kevin Durant, some of the other guys. He's got connections everywhere, and so I think it's very cool that he can pick up the phone and use those networking opportunities, and not every coach can do that.
No, you're right. That is a very special talent to have, especially when it comes to college recruiting. You want to be able to have those connections with those people, and like you said, this guy's had really good talent and good basketball teams in the past before. I mean, I remember when Durant was at Texas, they were, a Final Four team with Kevin Durant on there. So, and I know Tennessee's never quite gotten over that Sweet 16, Elite 8 hump that, Bruce Pearl got him to a couple times, and I think Quanzo even got him to the Sweet 16 one year. So, hopefully for Tennessee basketball, this is a hire for them that's going to continue them on the up and up, and who knows, maybe they'll get to a Final Four here in the next few years.
Quiz show coming up in a few minutes, the Cleveland Cavaliers, and also a scoreboard update from Gabe here in just a second. We've got a lot of afternoon baseball games here on this Wednesday, and it's kind of a short week given that Monday was a Memorial Day holiday. Cleveland Cavaliers, they blow out Atlanta 111-88, a 30-point blowout, and so now they await the Golden State Houston winner for the NBA Finals. Obviously, where this guy goes, he is a success. LeBron James has got him into the finals. The guy is who he is. He's an absolute barn burner talent, maybe one of the 5 best all time. May end up being the best ever. Who knows? But LeBron's got him exactly where they want him to get after the first year of a Cleveland Cavalier, and that's into the NBA Finals.
That's exactly right. And, you said it earlier, 5 straight trips to the finals. Yet, I mean, these are types of numbers that you just aren't used to seeing, especially this day and age. And LeBron has more times than not been the guy that's put the weight of the team on his shoulders and taken them to the finals. So I even this year, I didn't think that Cleveland was going to have what it took to make it to the finals. Proved me wrong. The East was, not exactly a powerhouse conference. I think we all realize the majority of the talent in the NBA is in the Western Conference, where you've got Golden State, you've got your Spurs. I know, I said it. You got Houston, you got Los Angeles, and the Clippers, not the Lakers. But
Yes.
I think that the way the East looks right now, that you could have the Cleveland Cavaliers going to the next 3 or 4 finals just because there's nobody in the East. To me, I mean, this was the Eastern Conference Finals. In Atlanta, other than in Game 3, they didn't show up. They weren't even able to stay with them on the floor. So I think what you're looking at LeBron maybe going to 7, 8 straight finals appearances before, and who knows where he's going to be at championship-wise. You know, like we said, the majority of the talent's out there in the West, and he probably won't really be tested till he gets to the finals. But as it is, I think that LeBron, what he's done so far, is nothing short of extremely impressive. And I think that Cleveland, I'm still picking Golden State to beat them, but I think that Cleveland's going to make it interesting.
Where can I buy some Spurs stuff here in the Tri-Cities? Anywhere I can buy it?
Hopefully nowhere.
Oh, that was not very nice. Not a nice response.
I think they have finally, I know I've said it for 5 years, but I think they're finally too old now.
Nope.
They are.
No.
I'm telling you,
They're
Tom.
getting rid of Ginobili. They're going to either bring him back as very much as a reserve coming off the bench, which he was this year. But you got Parker, you got Kawhi Leonard. You got Danny Green. Of course, you got Tony Parker. Duncan played lights out for a guy, 38, 39 years old?
I couldn't believe it.
Had one of his best seasons ever.
I still couldn't believe how extremely impressive he was, especially in the playoffs. He put that, and he's, like you said, 38 years old, and this guy's putting the team on his shoulders like he's 28. So very impressive.
So where can I buy some Spurs? I want a Spurs ball cap.
I think you're going to have to go to the internet and look on there.
Okay, I can look it up. By the way, the Raiders, I went to the Raiders website last night. They're having a merchandise sale.
Shocker.
Wasn't very nice either. They got Raiders Crocs. I'd love to have a pair of Raiders Crocs. I wear Crocs all the time around the house. They got Raiders Crocs, and they got a T-shirt that's half price. It says, big Raiders logo in the middle of the shirt says, "Real men wear black." I love it. Can I get one of those? Would you give me that for my birthday? It's already come and gone.
I refuse to buy anyone Crocs.
Really?
Those are no.
Oh, no, those
Tom,
are awesome shoes.
The holes are where your self-respect leaks through.
Oh, no. That was not very nice. You don't like wearing Crocs?
Absolutely not.
Oh, no, man, they're nice.
No.
What's wrong with you?
No, and
What is your favorite shoe to wear?
Flip-flops.
Point. Let me tell this story before we go to the break.
I knew it was coming.
Football game a couple of years ago, October, raining, turning cool. Muttley shows up to be our sideline reporter, which he did a very, very good job. And I look and I'm thinking, surely to God, he has another pair of shoes in the car. No. And so I see him. Let me have them. Let's see right here. There they are.
There they are.
Exhibit A. What size hoof do you wear, by the way?
It's an 11.
Yeah. Okay.
Not very big.
No. So, anyway, he is standing on the sideline, I guess, late September, early October. It's peppering down the rain, a little cool, to say the least. And my man comes up at halftime and says, "Man, my feet are cold." Really?
Really? Shocker.
What is your first clue there, Alfalfa, that you would be down there in flip-flops and sideline in October in the rain? And I guess it was Creech used to call you Southern California boy because you'd come in your flip-flops and shorts.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, anyway, so you're not going to buy – all right, when you do put on proper footing outside of flip-flops, which you have on most of the year, do you wear tennis shoes? Do you wear sandals? What do you wear?
Well, it depends. If I'm wearing long pants, like jeans or khakis,
Yeah.
I'll wear my Sperry's with them. And
Your Sperry's?
Sperry's, like boat shoes.
You saying fairies or Sperry's?
Sperry's.
Sperry's, spell it. S-P-E.
Sperrys.
Never heard of them. All right,
Really?
go ahead. News.
Okay.
I'm from West Virginia. Go ahead.
And then if I'm wearing shorts or something, I'll wear my sneakers, my tennis shoes.
Your sneakers.
My sneakers.
You remember PF Flyers?
Oh,
growing
yeah.
up? You remember
some Chuck E. T's?
No, those are Converse. Those Chuck Taylors.
Oh,
These
yeah,
are
yeah, but they look the same.
PF Flyers and Red Ball. Remember the Red Ball Jet
Oh, yeah.
tennis shoes?
Oh, yeah.
All right, as long as you remember those.
Oh, yeah.
Those were big in West Virginia. I had to wear my brother's on the hand-me-downs, and his feet stunk bad. All right, quick break. We'll be right back. We're going into the dreaded, no longer is this a fun thing to do. We have been in a deep, deep hole for a long time. That 8 stayed up there in the Bracken Paving Asphalt Maintenance Quiz Show scoreboard for these many weeks. May we go 5 for 5 today. She sent me a text yesterday. She said, you're going to get it one of these days, but not tomorrow, is what the apester said. She's the one who brings up and comes up with the Elvis questions. Tommy asks them, she comes up with them, and we'll do it next right here on this Wednesday edition of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Life has its twists and turns. It can take many different shapes. But a good retirement plan changes with your life. And as we talk about what you're putting away and how much you'll need to retire, what was uncertain becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today. Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
And we're back with the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us on this Wednesday. Appreciate you being with us very, very much. Our 76th day together. And it's time now for the quiz show. Let's go to the phonies there, buddy. Tom Wyman from Bracken Asphalt Maintenance and Bracken Paving. And good afternoon, Sunshine. How are you?
Oh, it's a beautiful day outside.
Yes, and you have been busy. Where have you been today doing quotes?
I have been in Rogersville, Churchill, and Kingsport today.
Wow. 323-8726. As we say each week, is a rough winter with all the snow and the ice and the freezing and thawing. So you guys have been very busy crack filling and doing some paving and doing some asphalt maintenance, right?
Oh yeah, it's been all over the place. Unfortunately, with the freeze thaw and the cold that it was out there, it's been busting up a bunch of asphalt out there, and we're out there repairing and doing whatever people actually need to have done.
You've done the quotes today. Now, where are the crews actually working today?
The crews are actually, I've got the infrared crew in Kingsport, I've got the sealing crew in Kingsport, and I have the other crack filling crew in Kingsport. And paving-wise, let's see, I do believe, I want to say we're up in Bristol area, and the grading guys are in Kingsport also. Kingsport's a busy day today.
There you go. The Model City's busy. Lots of yellow trucks flying around over there, the Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance trucks. You can get a free quote. 323-8726, driving through North Johnson City last night, and you guys had a little sign in the yard, did a little, what's the name of that road? Right close to Science-O High School. You did a driveway and a big old Bracken Asphalt Maintenance paving sign in the front yard, so saw that one just last night, again in North Johnson City. You guys are everywhere, aren't you?
We try to be, that's for sure.
Yep, and so 323-8726 is the number to call. Now, you're giving me a little static off air about wanting to get some Raiders Crocs. You think?
Oh, Lord.
I'm just glad he agrees with me on this.
Yeah, what is wrong with wearing Crocs? I like wearing Crocs. What's wrong with them, Tommy?
Tom, I don't have enough time, and I don't know where to start. let's just say, I don't care if it's Raiders Crocs or not, Tom. Let's just not go there.
All right. Making fun of me. What about the T-shirt that says "Real Men Wear Black" with a big Raiders logo in the middle of it? It's on sale.
That's fine.
Okay.
Put on a Raiders toboggan. That's fine. Maybe a pair of Raiders thong bikini underwear or something like that. But don't do the Crocs.
Raiders thong bikini underwear.
I meant to say actually Speedo bathing suit, but it just came out wrong, Tom.
I was going to say, you don't know I don't have that on now, as a matter of fact, because I have lots of Raider stuff I wear. So
That's exactly. I don't want to know that.
no, you don't want to know.
No.
Hey, now your Cubbies usually beat up on them. Your Cubbies are 24-20. You're 4 over. You guys are only 4.5 behind the Cardinals, so you got to give them some props. They're playing some pretty good baseball.
They're not doing too bad. They're hanging in there. It'll be interesting to see more toward as they go farther in the season, because that's usually when they really fall off. But I think this year, for them to have a little bit of a boost, I think we need to play the Reds.
Oh,
okay. All right.
There you go.
Yep, I knew it was coming.
Saying,
I knew it was coming.
This year it sounds like it's my turn to sit there and beat up on somebody.
There you go.
You guys are just absolutely, I don't know what you guys aren't doing.
Playing.
Playing,
that too.
pitching.
I'm not sure, and this is no disrespect to Chucky Doak. I'm not sure they could beat Chucky Doak. They're just not a very good baseball team. Cueto's on the shelf, looks like, so they're not playing well. And we'll get an update. They're playing as we speak against Colorado coming up here in a few minutes.
It's not pretty either.
Not pretty, I wouldn't think, no. It is time now for the quiz show, brought to you by the good folks American Import Auto Repair, home of the free loaner car program in Johnson City. So we're playing for Frances Cottrell. She Facebooked us earlier today, said she's listening. Thank you, Frances. Lives in Kingsport. So if we go 5 for 5, she gets a free oil change from American Import Auto Repair. She gets a free gift certificate to go out and eat at the Cracker Barrel, and she also gets a couple of free passes to spend all day free on us at Bays Mountain Park in Kingsport.
The poor lady. Why do you even tell her what she has a chance of winning?
Are you implying I'm not going to win again? Okay. Good grief. All right, hit the music. Here we go. Let's see how we're going to do this thing. Oh, man, oh my.
April's nervous as can be right now.
All right, time now for the quiz show. What'd you say about the Apester? She's nervous?
Nervous as can be right now. She's nervous until you get that first one wrong. Then she's fine. Then she'll start smack talking you.
Oh, I know. I went 4 for 5 yesterday and Monday, and she said, you're going to go 5 for 5 one of these days, but not tomorrow is what she said.
That's all right. Don't worry. You know what she did this weekend? Worked on this week's and next week's questions.
She's been busy.
Oh, yeah, she has.
Now, rumor has it she watches the show, and the fact that we have a bell here, she went out and bought a bell for her desk. Is that right?
She has got a bell sitting on her desk, and when you say Goofy, she just rang it. When you say things on your show, she hits the bell.
There you go.
And when the show's off, unfortunately, she still hits the bell. Thanks, Tom.
The Apester, she's my buddy. All right, here we go. Question number 1. It's all Elvis questions, and we're playing for Frances Cottrell in Kingsport. Frances, I'm going to try and win it for you, lady. Here we go. Question number 1.
True or false? Elvis's right-hand man was Jerry Schilling.
That's true.
That is false.
Oh! Okay. All right.
The bell's going crazy right now.
All right.
It is actually Joe Esposito.
I knew that. He's part of the Memphis Mafia. Why did I knew it was Joe Esposito. God almighty.
Oh,
All right.
Lord, she's dancing.
All right.
All right.
I heard the bell ring
number
over there.
2.
I just heard the bell ring. All right. Question
Number 2, true or false?
Yes.
Kurt Russell starred with Elvis in the movie It Happened at the World's Fair.
That's true.
That is true.
All right. Go ahead.
Number 3, true or false? The owner of Graceland, before Elvis bought it, was a professor at the University of Tennessee.
That is true.
That is true. Very nice.
All right. 2 for 3.
Oh, she said lucky guess.
Tell her to. No, don't tell her anything. Go ahead. Number 4.
Number 4, true or false? Elvis outbidded. Let's try this. Elvis outbid Glenn Campbell to purchase Graceland.
I don't think it was Glenn Campbell. I know he outbidded somebody. I will say that is false.
You are correct. That is false.
Oh.
It was the YMCA that he outbid.
That's what I thought. Yep. I knew it wasn't Glenn Campbell. All right, I'm 3 for 4. That's pretty strong. Let's finish it up here.
And number 5, true or false? Elvis would collect a local TV guide from every city he would perform in.
Local TV guide, every city he performed in. Seems like he collected something. I don't think it was TV guide, but what the heck? I'm going to say true.
That is false.
Oh!
He collected a police badge from
That's
every city
what it
he
was.
performed in.
Dadgummit. All right. Stupid questions. 3 of them are good. 2 of them are really stupid questions, but
The first and the last one were dumb.
Yeah, no, they weren't dumb. They were stupid. There's levels. We're past dumb. It's stupid because I didn't win again. But Anyway, yep. Francis Cottrell, I'm sorry, dear. I tried for you. Didn't do well. It's 3 for 5. We'll try it again next. God, I haven't won. I don't know when the last time was I won. It's been weeks now.
Yeah, that stuff is permanent on that board now.
Yeah, it ain't coming off.
323-8726. Tommy, tell us one more time about Bracken Paving and Bracken Asphalt Maintenance. How can you help us?
Oh, you just give the Apester or Sarah a call, and they'll schedule one of us to come out there and take a look at your driveway, give you a free evaluation, and we'll tell you honestly what needs to be done or what doesn't need to be done on it. And if it's something major, needless to say, we'll work with you. But the biggest thing is getting an honest opinion and an honest look at it and being honest with you as to what you need.
When do I get to ask her Elvis questions? When can I turn the tables and ask her?
Good luck with that. You'll have to talk to her about that.
Thank you very much. I thought you'd be my middleman, and
It's not going to work. I could talk to Len Blue in the face, and she won't say a word. You better talk to her directly.
There you go. You just jumped off the bus. At least
That's exactly right.
At least you didn't throw me under the bus. That's
Tuck
good.
and roll, baby.
All right. I'll talk to you soon. I appreciate you, kids.
You got it. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.
All right. Good job. All right. Hit the music, my man. We are done again. Another disastrous quiz show. Man, oh, man.
You're going to have to do something.
Oh, I don't know. I got to change something. I don't know. I got to change
something.
Up. 4 for 5, 4 for 5, and 3 for 5. So not a good day. And I tried to win for Francis Cottrell on the quiz show, and we'll try it again tomorrow. As I said last week, Tim Smith, American Import and Auto Repairs, said, Tom, I got barrels of oil sitting out behind the shed. Can you please win so we can use some oil? I said, okay, but I didn't do it today for Francis Cottrell. We will take a break. We'll come right back, and when we do, we'll check in with Dr. Barry Walton from Max Medicine Mart. He joins us coming up next here on this Wednesday edition of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Life has its twists and turns. It can take many different shapes. But a good retirement plan changes with your life. And as we talk about what you're putting away and how much you'll need to retire, what was uncertain becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today. Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
At all, and it is what it is. 3 for 5, but she gives great questions, and I just didn't do well. Gable, give me a scoreboard update, my friend. What's going on in Big League Baseball right now?
Well, we got a few early afternoon games today. The Cleveland Indians are just all over the Texas Rangers, 11-1.
Yep.
And the Marlins are beating the Pirates 1-0 in the fifth. You've got the White Sox on top of the Blue Jays 2-0. The Red Sox are beating the Twins 2-0. Kansas City and the Yankees are all tied up at 1. And our Cincinnati Reds are currently down 5-1 in the top of the fifth inning.
All right. There you go. Let's go to the phonies there, our buddy Dr. Barry Walton from Max Medicine Mart. Good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
Doing very well, Tom Taylor. How you doing today?
Just fine. Now, your man Saban, I'm mad. I don't know if have you seen this story about the SEC and these camps and all that? Have you been following that here the last day or so?
Not a lot, no.
I know you're trying to build a store over there, but let me tell you what's going on. I'm not. I like Saban, but I don't always agree with him. In this case, I do. Did you know? Gable, help me with this one. This is your cousin, by the way, Gable. You know Gabe, don't you?
I believe I do know him.
We've met a couple of times.
Couple of times, yeah. Let me ask you this, Doctor. When you have Gable over, does he eat you out of house and home like he does over here?
Well,
he doesn't have
he
me
come
over.
over the house very often.
Oh, there you go.
I'm more likely to show up at his place, so there you go.
That's great. All right. Saban, I didn't know this till Gable explained all this to me. Urban Meyer, Jim Harbaugh, any coach anywhere in the country can come into the Southeastern Conference, come to any of their football camps anytime they want to, and the SEC can't do anything about it, but they cannot go. For example, if Torbush wanted to have pick him, Saban to come up to the East Tennessee State football camp later on this year, they can't. He cannot do that. But any other coach can go to a Southeastern Conference camp and basically recruit kids, go in and just kind of show up. And even if Saban doesn't want them there, and we're using Alabama for an example, even Saban doesn't want them there, they still can come in there. I think that's hogwash. What do you think?
I do too. I think it's, the rules need to be the same for everybody.
Yeah. And so I understand why he's complaining at the spring meetings in Florida about this. He said it needs to be a level playing field for everybody.
Absolutely.
I would agree with that. So totally. Anyway.
He sounds pretty smart.
Yeah. You two, of course, I'm surrounded right here on this segment by two diehard Alabama guys, Gable and Dr. Walton. But I agree with him. I think it's true. I think it's a total – because if – and I'm going to use Urban Meyer. If he's coming to Alabama to the camp, what's he down there for? He's recruiting.
It's not to spread goodwill.
That's exactly right. He's looking for –
he might be spreading something down there, but it's not goodwill.
Oh, there's the bell. Yep. So – anyway, that's one of the top sports stories going on today. Max Medicine Mart. We're running out of time for Nature's Way. It's 20% off the month of May. Tell me about Max Medicine Mart, among other things we'll talk about. Let's start with Nature's Way.
Absolutely, Tom. 20% off Nature's Way, all of their products, and they've got a great line of herbs. One of the things that we're seeing a lot more people use is trying to go to natural things as far as treating different things that go on in their life. One of the things that we're seeing flying out of the store right now is ginger root. And ginger can actually be used for a couple of different things. It really helps soothe digestion, but a lot of folks will also use it for motion sickness. So if you're heading over the mountains, going to the beach, and you might want to take a little ginger capsule there, and that can help kind of lessen any car sickness you might get. So the ginger root that Nature's Way has been used for that. And a lot of things that we're seeing people with all these allergies and everything, they're not really sleeping well at night, so they're not don't have the energy that they usually have. So we're seeing people coming in getting the Korean ginseng root. They have that. They bill it as a vitality herb. And there's also a thing called rhodiola rosea, and that helps with your energy level too. So all of these things are in V caps or the veggie caps, which is easy to swallow. They're premium herbal products, and all of them 20% off. And, of course, with Nature's Way, there's so much more out there that they have. Pretty much any herb that you're looking for, Nature's Way is pretty much the standard on those. So we have 3 great sections of the Nature's Way herbs. Come on in, check us out. As you're coming in Max Medicine Mart, it's on the left in the Good Food Grocery section, and we have folks out there that can help you with any need that you may have. We're
talking to Dr. Barry Walton from Max Medicine Mart in Kingsport, one of our great sponsors, and has been Max Medicine Mart. Make tracks to Max, and you do. Other things, I hope we're going to at some point talk about water because it's so hot and muggy out there, and you preach it year-round on this segment to drink lots of water, and boy, do we need it now, being as muggy as it is. Tell us about the water we get from Good Food Grocery.
Well, that's right, Tom. I mean, we talk about it even in the winter because a lot of times then we're staying inside. We have that dry heat, and over time that can dry us out. But this time of year, I tell you what, now I was off yesterday, and it was hot. Drove by and saw one bank sign that said it was 90 degrees. That's a little warm, and you can just lose water just by being outside. You'll sweat it out. But it's very important to stay hydrated. It keeps all of our organs operating at optimal efficiency, so that's very important. We have a lot of great waters here at Max Medicine Mart, and we've got a lot of people that have been really taking advantages of buying the water by the case. In fact, I unloaded about 12 cases of water this morning from a company that folks just place special orders with. So we've got waters that have different pHs. We have waters that have different minerals and electrolytes in there, so you can stay hydrated and also keep your electrolyte balance going. So it's just a lot of good things that you can do. There's just so many ways this time of year especially, that you can lose that moisture in your body. So you want to make sure that you replace what you lose. This is a great way of doing it. A tremendous percentage of the body is actually made up of water, and you would not believe. When you look at it, you think about all the bones that we have. Even bones contain a lot of water. So it's very important that we do stay hydrated to help our body operate at a efficient level. So any type of water you may need, we've got the mountain springs. We've got the Pinto water. Tom, I think it's one of your favorite ones. The Aqua-9 Hydrate is one that I prefer. But we've got all sorts of the Essentia water that's out there as well. But all sorts of different kinds of water. And if you want to buy it by the case, we'll discount that and make it more affordable for you. So come to Max for all your water needs. We can make that happen for you.
Dr. Barry Walton from Max Medicine Mart. Again, Nature's Way, 20% off for through Sunday. Then the new month starts on June 1st of next week on Monday. And so you can save all Nature's Way products 20% off until then, every day, all day at Max Medicine Mart on Center Street in Kingsport. And the water, again, Good Food Grocery, by the way, is a store within a store inside the four walls at Max Medicine Mart. And we got time for one more topic. What else do you want to tell us about from Max?
Well, I'd like for people to come in and check out our durable medical equipment section as you enter the Max Medicine Mart and go straight to the right. They have a lot of different things in there, and I was out there today helping a couple of people with things that they need, like support socks. You don't always think about those things, but I had one lady that needed something she had an ingrown toenail, and her toe kept banging into her second toe kept banging into her big toe. So she had needed something to help straighten out her toes, so we helped her out with that. And then she needed some support socks that had the toes out of it, so that it wouldn't put pressure on her ingrown toenail. So we've got support socks. In fact, I wear support socks all the time. I've told you about that before. But I've got support socks on now. I helped a gentleman with support socks out there this morning, and this lady needed support socks that had the toes cut out. So we've got all sorts of different things, whether it be knee-high, thigh-high. We've got pantyhose that have different compressions in them. So if you have a leg condition, whether it's just varicose veins or whether it's something more serious than that, we can help you out with the support socks and hose over in our Good Food in our durable medical equipment section. But we also have so many other things over there. We've got, as we say, braces from pretty much from the neck down to the foot. So any kind of support or brace you need for your body, we can help you out there. We got probably one of the best selections in the Tri-Cities on that. In fact, I had a lady come in this morning and tell me that asked me if I knew this doctor over in Elizabeth, and then I had heard of the doctor, but I have never met him. And he said that she was telling me that he directed her to come to Max Medicine Mart in Kingsport, that they've got what you'll need. So and she came over, and sure enough, we did. So evidently, word has spread about Max Medicine Mart, and we certainly appreciate those fine folks from Carter County directing folks over here to Kingsport. We'll certainly do our best to make them proud and take care of them. But that's what we like to do here at Max Medicine Mart, just taking care of people. That's what we're all about.
That's why we tell folks all the time to make tracks to Max, and they do. They're open 7 days a week. And give me the hours again that you're open at Max Medicine Mart.
Monday through Friday, we start off at 8 in the morning and go until 7 at night. On Saturdays, we're here from 8 in the morning until 6 at night. And on Sundays, we're here from 1 to 5. So for all your health care needs, like you said, make tracks to Max.
Make tracks to Max. Do you have any stories on Gabe you'd like to share with us right now before we leave?
Probably wouldn't want to put those over the air, but we'll talk later about it.
Very good. Hey, thank you, my friend. Keep on keeping on, and we'll talk to you next week, all right?
Look forward to it, Tom. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
And Gable, thank you, buddy.
See you, Barry.
Yes, sir. Good man right there, our buddy, Dr. Barry Walton from Max Medicine Mart. Make tracks to Max, and you do, and we appreciate that very, very much. Hour number 1 of the books. Hard to believe it's flown by. And coming up, we still need to discuss, and we'll bring up about the Braves third baseman, Kayaspo.
Wow, 2 times in a row.
Baby, how
there
about
it
that?
is.
You can't teach an old hillbilly how to talk these funny words. Kayaspo says now the trade may be back on, I should say. And before we go to the break, get ready for the Reds report. Give me the latest in the baseball scoreboard. There's a lot of games going on this afternoon across Big League Baseball. And give me the very latest, starting with the boys. It looks like they're getting clubbed 6-1. Is that right?
Yes, they are currently down 6-1 in the bottom of the 5th.
Mm-hmm.
The Cleveland Indians are now up 12-1. Miami and Pittsburgh. Miami's still on top 1-0 in that one. White Sox still have a 2-0 lead over the Toronto Blue Jays. The Yankees have jumped out to a 4-1 lead on top of the Royals, and the Twins have managed to tie it up with Boston in 2-2 at bottom of the third.
All this going on in Big League Baseball on this Wednesday afternoon. We'll take a break, come right back with hour number 2. We'll be ready to go. Talking Reds baseball, the weekly Reds report. We follow the Reds here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, although they are awful. Brian Price, is the noose tightening day by day for this guy?
I would say so, unless they go on a little bit of a win streak here. It's going to keep getting a little bit tighter every day.
Well, they play today, which they are. Tomorrow, open date. Washington comes to town next week. Then they head off to Philadelphia, San Diego, the Phillies, the Cubbies, Detroit. So it doesn't get any easier for
it's not
the Red
getting
Legs.
any easier.
No. So, and let's give you the very latest on Cueto before we go to the break. Red starter Johnny Cueto missing at least one more start after an MRI found inflammation in his right pitching elbow. No major damage. Won 20 games last season. Had to skip a scheduled start over the weekend because of stiffness. Now, Cueto's in the final year of his contract. Hasn't been able to reach a deal with the Reds, who could trade him at midseason if they're still out of the race. Reds, who have lost 9 of the last 10, their longest slump in 17 years, heading into a game against the Colorado Rockies today, which is going on as we speak. And so Price says, quote, "I think more than anything what gives us peace of mind is there's really no major structural damage to Cueto's arm, no injury that would linger or could get worse. That being said, he still has to go out there and throw, make sure that the stiffness and soreness is out." Cueto, Mike Leake, 2 holdovers from last year's rotation. Homer Bailey still out. Matt Latos traded to Miami in the offseason, so Cueto is the only consistent thing they've got right now, and he's going to miss another start. And it looks like he was supposed to pitch Sunday against the Nationals, and he's not going to get that start. So we'll see how that goes. Greg Salyer, who is a big Reds fan, maybe bigger than Gable, if that's even possible. He joins us next in the Weekly Reds Report. Also coming up later in the show, as we told you earlier, the most famous and most successful female pro stock driver in NHRA history, Erica Anders Stevens. She joins us coming up later on the show right here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Kingsport Cabinetry installs cabinets and countertops all over the 3-state region. Owner Richard Isaacs tells us how they can do a lot of things, including light remodeling.
We can do a lot of what I would call light remodeling. You know, we don't want to build a room addition, but we don't care to take down a wall and move some electrical and change some plumbing and things like that to fit. If you're doing a new kitchen, you're tearing it out, a lot of times you want it to be a little different than it was before. Maybe the layout a little different, incorporate a bar or an island or something like that. So we offer a lot of service that I don't think that you'll find everywhere else.
Quotes are free. Been in business almost 30 years. They do both residential and commercial cabinets and countertops. Call today, 247-6134, 247-6134, Kingsport Cabinetry. American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they treat thousands of patients each year dealing with diabetes and its effects. Diabetes overtaking our nation and leaving a path of destruction behind. Through wound care, office visits, and preventive care, they see most of the patients after a problem arises. Using diabetic footwear such as shoes and inserts, a great way to prevent or prolong skin breakdown and amputation. At Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, they use only custom molds from patient mold inserts, which further ensure a great recovery, or better yet, prevents a wound from happening. They use custom molded shoes, bracing, custom inserts, and extra depth diabetic shoes to prevent wounds or other skin issues from beginning. Call today, 1-800-524-4447. 39 years, 6 locations, 1 family. Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, 1-800-524-4447. Back with hour number 2 of the Top Dollar Sports Show. Thank you for being with us, again, wherever you may be. And Gable, again, keep us up to date. Lots of baseball games going on this afternoon. Give us the very latest, would you please?
Well, now the Reds are down 6-1.
Better give me a dial tone I can call while you're
in the top of the 6th.
While you're talking, I will call. All right, go ahead.
Indians are still on top of the Rangers 12-1 in the 6th inning, and also in the 6th would be the Marlins on top of the Pirates 1-0. You got the White Sox beating the Blue Jays 2-0. Yankees still on top of the Royals 4-1. And the Red Sox and Twins. The Twins have managed to take a 3-2 lead on top of the Red Sox. And the Mets are beating the Phillies 4-0. And
oh, boy.
Tampa Bay and Seattle are tied 0-0. And Milwaukee and San Francisco are all tied up at 0-0.
Reds down 6-1 in the 5th inning. Is that right?
That's right.
Wow. All right, let's go to the phone. Speaking of, our buddy Greg Salyer with our Reds report each and every week. So I'm surrounded by 2 big Reds fans here. Again, Gable Hackett pinch hitting for Horace today, and Greg Salyer. Good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing fine, Tom. How about you?
Just fine, sir. What's the latest? What's coming out of the Reds camp that you feel like we need to know about right now?
Well, a few things happening that some good, some bad. But, of course, 9-game losing streak was broken last night. That was the longest streak the Reds had since, I believe, 1998. And Schumacher came through with that little looper double last night to walk off in that game. Some good things happening, some bad things happening, like I said. First of all, Devin Mesoraco, 15-day disabled list since we talked last. This hip impingement thing that he's been having going on since the first series of the season has really sidelined him. Sounds like he's probably in for surgery, maybe done for the season, but, we'll just have to wait and see. Another thing, Johnny Cueto, that was kind of good news. They had been talking about soreness or stiffness or something like that. Yesterday they did an MRI and some other tests. They were worried about his elbow. Those tests came back negative. Sounds like he might be good to go, and they're still hoping that he might be pitching Sunday. Not sure yet, but hoping that he might. Also, disabled list issue. He's not on the disabled list, but could end up there. Brandon Phillips, turf toe. Sounds like a little simple thing, but from what I hear, that is one of the most terrible injuries you can have because it's just extremely painful. He's tried to play through it and taken today off, of course, and hopefully he'll be back pretty soon, but struggling with that. But here's the good news. We've talked about all these losses the last few days and, the last week or so, and the one person that has gotten hot during all that, Jay Bruce. Can you believe it? Jay Bruce finally getting hot, Tom.
I'm not a big fan, so yeah, it's time he gets for what they're paying him to get hot. So maybe he can carry the ball club. So you haven't ruled these guys out. You still got faith they can get this thing turned around, right?
Well, they're coming down to the point in the season where the rubber meets the road. We kind of know what we've got now, or will in the next couple of weeks. They're not looking good. This season is probably not going to be a playoff season for them. I'm still hoping that they'll hit the 500 mark and may do that this year. The team, they've got a good team on paper. The pitching has been better than what I was hoping for even. Some of these young guys that have come up have done pretty well. Pretty excited about Lorenzen. The game he pitched yesterday was fantastic. He can do that consistently, I believe, in the majors. Even Anthony DeSclafani, he pitched a good game. I think it was Saturday that he pitched and pitched a really good game then as well. Reds took a loss in that game, but it really wasn't DeSclafani's fault that happened. And today's not Leaks Day, that's for sure. A couple of home runs in the first and second innings put the Reds down big today. So hopefully this is not going to begin another streak of losses for the Reds.
We're talking again to Greg Salyer out of Johnson City. All right, Gable, weigh in here. Get your all's thoughts on this. When do you unload Cueto? Do you hang on to this guy? What do you do? Greg, you go first. What do you do with Cueto?
Well, the MRI they did yesterday, that was key to a whole lot of that. I love Cueto. Every time he's out there pitching, you feel like you've got a chance to win. If we thought they could sign him long term, then I would say absolutely keep him. If it's going to be one of those deals where they realize they can't do anything to sign him, then I would say then they're going to have to trade him and try to get something for him instead of just letting him go to free agency at the end of the year.
Now, Gabe, you said you've read where he wants to stay in Cincinnati, right?
Well, at the beginning of the season, he had said that he liked Cincinnati. He wanted to stay with the Reds organization, but he wanted if they were going to do a trade or a contract extension, he wanted to have it done before spring training started.
Right.
Well, of course, that didn't get accomplished. Jocketty kind of had more or less came across saying he was optimistic that they might be able to do something. Of course, they weren't able to get anything done. And the way they're playing right now, I think that they need to, if they're still in this kind of shape come All-Star break, they need to ship him off and at least maybe try to get some young prospects or something to start looking at the future. Just because I don't see them being able to afford Cueto, and other than last year, I feel like last year was the first time he'd had a fully healthy season in a long time. Going back to 2012, he threw like the first 8 pitches of Game 1 against the Giants, and then he ended up having back spasms or something of that nature and not being able to pitch the rest of that series. But I think that he's not injury prone, but he does have his stints on the DL every single season, and I think it might be time to start looking in the future and going somewhere else.
Greg, if you stop today, because All-Star Game's coming up on July 14th, what Red would merit being on the National League All-Star team that's going to be in Cincinnati this year?
Probably the first guy you think of is Todd Frazier. 14 home runs. You get one today. 260 batting average right now. Not the greatest, but not the worst either. I would say just because of his home runs, that's probably going to put him probably at the All-Star game. And I would say a second guy that you'll probably see there is Chapman. He's one of the best closers in baseball, and I think specifically just because the game's in Cincinnati, he'll be on the team as well.
And then last but not least, let's go back to Devin Mesoraco. I think this is a big, big hole to fill. The catcher for the Reds, who was a big, big offensive firepower a year ago, never really got going like you wanted him to this year. But this is a guy that's a catcher who can't get down to the catcher's position now because of the pain in his hip and his thigh. So you may look down the road to converting this guy to maybe a first baseman or somewhere else to play to keep him healthy for the Reds.
Yeah, they've talked about the outfield maybe for Mesoraco. He does have a new glove. He talked about it one day and said he had an outfielder's glove that he could use, and I think he's been shagging some fly balls and batting practice and things like that. And possibility. He's an athlete. He's not just a player. He's an athlete. The guy can hit for power. And, he can probably transition somewhere else. Because, if you think about it, think about some of the other guys that transitioned from catcher to other positions. Craig Biggio is the first one that comes to my mind. Went from catcher to center field and second base both during his career. A lot of people don't know this, but Joey Votto was signed as a catcher. He was drafted that way and then converted to first base. So, guys can do that, and it's happened a lot. And, Mesoraco, that may extend his career a long time if he can do that.
There you go. Before I let you go, what's going to be the sermon this coming Sunday at the old church house?
Well, we've got the Lord's Supper Sunday morning, so we're going to be talking about that and what that means to us and see how that all plays out in our lives.
There you go. That'll be coming up this coming Sunday at the old Southwestern Baptist Church House in Cherokee Road in Johnson City. Greg, great report, my friend. Keep smiling, and we'll talk to you next week, all right?
All right. Thank you, Tom.
Yep, super job. Our buddy Greg Salyer getting from Johnson City, talking a little Reds baseball. We do follow the Reds. Braves and Dodgers. Let's go back to this deal that was off the table. Now it's back on the table. The Dodgers and the Braves have agreed to trade infielders Juan Uribe. Did I get that right?
Yes, you did.
Uribe and Alberto Callaspo. How about it?
I think you've got it down.
Alberto Callaspo. They're going to be going to the Dodgers, apparently. Callaspo initially rejected the deal that would send him to the Dodgers, but he recently changed his mind, said, yep, I'm ready to go. He was scratched from yesterday's game. The team announced Kayaspo's hitting .206, 8 RBIs, and a 107 at-bats this season for the Braves. The Braves will also send Eric Stoltz, Ian Thomas, and Juan Jaime, I guess. It wouldn't be Jaime. I guess it'd be Jaime, Jaime, to the Dodgers. Do you know who that is?
That sounds like Jaime.
Juan Jaime, Ian Thomas, and Eric Stoltz. The Braves are supposed to get pitcher Chris Withrow. Now, surely they're not going to give all that up for one guy. Braves have agreed to trade Uribe Kayaspo. As part of the trade, the Braves also will send Stoltz, Thomas, and Juan, I guess it's Jaime, to the Dodgers for Chris Withrow. Why'd you give up all that for one guy?
You're trying to win right now.
I know, but
you're trying
dumping,
to win it right now.
What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys for one. Chris Withrow can't be that good, can he?
No.
I've never heard of the guy. Of course, I don't follow the Braves or the Dodgers too much, but this guy's the Dodgers can. But 6-player deal, 5 leaving and 1 coming. That doesn't make any sense to me. Why would you give up that much? You should at least have, if it's 6 players, 3 and 3.
Well, no, not necessarily. I mean,
why would you give up 5 just to get 1 coming back your way?
Because you might be loaded up at that position. You might have plenty of guys coming up that are, you've got a little bit higher expectations.
They're 22 and 22. Whoever they got out there playing right now I think would be expendable to a point when you're a 500 ball club in Atlanta. But anyway, they didn't ask me.
Well, when you become the new GM of the Atlanta Braves,
thank you. Call you.
You call me, and I won't say anything else. Okay.
He's not coming back, by the way. Yes, he is. I enjoy him being here. Horace will be back tomorrow. All right, here we go. Dobbins Minutes Hunter Wolf named the Big 7 Conference Baseball Player of the Year by the conference coaches. Wolf batted .475 for the Indians, 11 doubles. By the way, say hello to David Rotenberry, would you please?
Hello, David Rotenberry.
There you go. Listens all the time. He and his lovely bride, Joanne, who recently retired. She is now done with her teaching career. At least she's good enough. I'd say she'll come back maybe in a what's the word? Not a counselor, but a part-time position to teach, because she's very good at what she does. Anyway, hello to Mrs. Rotenberry and to her trusty sidekick, David. Wolf batting .475 for the Indians. What am I trying to say? Once you're retired, they come back and ask you to, not freelance, substitute teach, I guess.
All that for substitute?
Yeah, it's been a day. I don't understand what the problem with the Crocs. I'm still kind of bothered by the Crocs.
I can tell you're distraught over this right now.
Are you gonna buy them?
I know. I'm with Weinman on this one. I'm not buying something.
The Apester would help me buy them if I wanted them. She'd be right there with me. Get me some Raiders Crocs. Wolf batted .475 with the Indians, 11 doubles, 6 triples, 7 home runs, 36 RBIs, 65 hits, and 56 runs scored. He how about this? 140 times the plate, he struck out only 7 times.
That's impressive.
He's making contact.
That's impressive.
Yeah, 140 plate appearances. Hunter Wolf from Dobbins Minutes struck out only 7 times and 140 at-bats. Science Hill's Ryan Edwards earned the Coach of the Year honors, and so congratulations to all the youngsters that were named to the All Big 7 team. Hunter Wolf, Player of the Year, and Ryan Edwards from Science Hill, the Coach of the Year in the Big 7 Baseball Conference. Now, speaking of that, let's bring you up to speed on what's going on in Southwest Virginia before we go to the break. Coming up in a few minutes, we'll be checking in with, again, the most successful pro stock driver, female driver in NHRA history. She'll join us coming up here in just a few minutes. Erica Enders Stevens. Uh-oh, here we go. Got somebody coming in. Huh. April says no to the Crocs.
There you go. Thank you.
What is wrong with the Crocs?
No.
They sell them like gangbusters at shoe stores. Well, they fly out of. They got all kinds of.
That doesn't mean it's a good thing, Tom.
I've got dress Crocs down by.
If everyone was jumping off a bridge, would you do that too?
If they had Crocs, if they had Crocs on, yeah. I don't get it. So anyway, let's go baseball, Virginia. It's just another. No wonder I'm scarred. Galax beat Patrick Henry 2-0. Fort Chiswell beat Chilhowie 6-1. Marion all over Graham High School 15-1 in the Conference 40 tournament. Last night, Lebanon beat Union 8-3, and Virginia High's Bearcats beat Y Central 13-10. All this courtesy of the Kingsport Times News. In the Conference 48 tournament, you had J.I. Burton defeating Twin Springs 12-2. Rye Cove all over Castlewood 11-4. And in a shootout, Thomas Walker beat Clintwood 13-12 in Conference 48 baseball action in Southwest Virginia. Now, softball from yesterday. Joe Howey in 5 innings. Man, how do you do that? 5 innings, they call the game, but it's a 23-11 score. How do you get that? I mean, usually it's a whitewash or it's not 23-11 after 5 innings. You're talking about the wheels flying off.
Well, don't they have a slaughter rule? If after the 5th inning you're over 10?
But the score is 23-11.
Well, that means somebody hit a home run to push him over there, Tom.
Well, Sherlock, I know that, but how does it go? I mean, how do you have a 12-run differential in a 5-inning game? I mean, usually it's –
you're not playing well that day. You're playing like the Reds.
You didn't help me at all with that. So
I don't understand where you're confused.
23-11.
Yeah.
Normally a 5-inning game would be, well, here's one right down here. Tuesday it was 21-0, 5 innings. Okay? I can get that one. 23-11 in 5 innings?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't see where you're confused on this.
Yeah, it's obvious. You have that deer in headlight look, and I understand. Okay. Union beat Gate City 2-0 in softball, and John Battle's ladies beat Lebanon 11-8 in Conference 40 tournament play, that being played at Gate City High School. Now, the soccer tournaments, let's get those squeezed in. Last night, Conference 40 boys tournament action. Soccer in Southwest Virginia. Y Central defeated Union 6-0. John Battle blanking Lehigh 10-0. Virginia High's boys beat Lebanon in soccer 4-1. And also last night in Conference 40 girls play, you had Union defeating Virginia High 3-0. John Battle's ladies in soccer over Y Central 6-1. And Lehigh ladies beat Lebanon 1-0 in girls high school soccer action. And that's what's happening in Southwest Virginia. Of course, Tennessee all wrapped up. Schools out, with the exception, of course, of Johnson City schools will be out for tomorrow. I think everybody else is pretty much wrapped up. Putt-putt. Tell me about putt-putt. Can you play putt-putt?
Oh, yeah. Everyone can play putt-putt.
Yeah. We may need you as a 5th player for the Hawaiian, so what do we call ourselves, coming up the St. Jude's putt-putt tournament in August. The Apester's a coach. We got Horace and Weinman and myself and Gator. We may need a backup just in case. Yeah. We call ourselves the Hawaiian Hoedown Boys. We showed up last year in Hawaiian print shirts. Everybody had either bib overalls on or combat boots and socks pulled up to the knees. We were quite the spectacle rolling into Stone Drive, on Stone Drive putt-putt.
The image I have in my head is just
great.
Scary.
There's pictures somewhere. The Hawaiian Hoedown Boys, coached by Apester.
Those pictures need to be burned.
Oh, no, I think they're going to come back up and probably embarrass us. But I'm telling you, this is the truth. Across the street, what the name of the hamburger joint is, we parked over there, walked across Stone Drive. God is my witness, the crowd parted because we all come in mass, carrying our clubs, straw hats, bib overalls, Hawaiian shirts.
I would have run away.
Yeah.
I would have just gotten back in the car and been like, well, it just wasn't my day today.
Not tonight.
I'm taking that as a sign.
Not tonight, honey. Maybe next week. Maybe tomorrow night with these yo-yos coming across the street. Not tonight. I think what kind of did on the 7th hole, I was struggling early on the first 6 holes. So on the 7th hole, I laid on my belly and shot it like a cue ball down on the – and so that was when things kind of – people started kind of scattering. So we got problems.
It's time to go home, honey. We'll come back later. Okay.
That's pretty much what it was. But we had fun. So we may use you as number 5. We need a backup. Can you play putt-putt?
I can play putt-putt.
Really?
I'm probably – I'll go ahead not to toot my own horn, but I'm probably better than the rest of you all.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. I'd be your number 1.
Oh, you'd be the number 1 guy.
I would.
All right. Okay, I'm looking at putt-putt last night. The A division, they shot an 85. Is that good?
Let's see. What is
par 3 on most of them?
No, it's par 2 on all of them.
It's par 3, I think, on most of them. Par 2?
I think it's par 2 on every
times
single
18,
one of them.
that's 36 holes.
72. That's pretty good.
Shot an 85 on a 36 hole.
It's on 72 holes.
Yeah.
Or on a par 72.
I guess.
What's that mean? That could be better. That means they were 13 over.
Okay. Par 72, yep. And then that's the A division. Now the D division, guys shot a 99. So there you go. So what do I need to be doing to do well in this tournament? What do I need to be playing? What kind of score do I need to have?
Preferably an 82 or a 72.
That ain't going to happen.
72.
That ain't going to happen.
Okay,
no,
not going to happen.
I don't take it that serious. So That ain't going to happen. So what you think would be a good, solid score to kind of work towards that goal?
How about 90?
A 90?
How about 90?
Right.
What'd y'all shoot last year? Do you remember?
No, I gave up. I have no clue.
See, that's probably not a good sign.
I drifted towards the beverage table for the freshmen. I was over there trying to find some food and a Diet Mountain Dew. So, and then they had all kinds of silent auction items, and I was bidding on a lamp.
On a lamp?
A Raiders lamp, no less.
Oh, naturally.
I didn't get it.
Oh,
so.
I hate that for you.
Yeah, I didn't do well on that. I was looking for
I
had a
hate
Raiders
that for
lamp.
you.
So all right, I'm writing this down. A goal for me for putt-putt for the August St. Jude's putt-putt on Stone
90.
Drive putt-putt is if I can shoot a 90.
If you can shoot a 90.
That's on both sides? That'd be
that's
36
combined
holes?
between all 36 holes.
36 holes. If I can shoot a 90, I've done well.
I'll be impressed.
What can you do, being since you've already blown smoke that you're the best one of the five? What would you shoot?
No higher than an 80.
80?
80.
All right. No higher than an 80.
No higher than an 80.
I have no clue what Gator will do. Or Tommy. Now, Tommy's pretty good. He's won 2 golf tournaments this year.
Oh.
Guy's won 2 golf tournaments, won a TV. So he's pretty good.
That?
Yeah. Of course, the TV was closest to the pin. I guess what they do, close to the pin.
Yeah.
So, and then his teams won the St. Jude's golf tournament, and he won another tournament the other day. He was flashing the trophy. So this guy's pretty good. So to say you're better than he is.
At putt-putt, not real golf.
Yeah. No, we're talking putt-putt. You talking a little smack now.
I'm talking, I am.
Now, the Apster's going to be our coach this year. Yeah, she sent a practice schedule a couple of weeks ago, and I deleted it. It was get up at 4 and practice like from 6 to 8. And she's getting serious about this. I'm thinking, nah, I'm just looking for the Diet Dew and some ice cream. Probably some Nutter Butters.
We can drop that from a 90 to a 100 on your goal, okay?
All right. So anyway, that's coming up. We're going to talk more about that as it gets closer to be. Before you know it, in early August, it's the St. Jude's Golf Tournament. Last year they netted out of there over $30,000 on that one night. And so a lot of folks come out and play putt-putt. It's a lot of fun. It's going to be for a great cause. And it's coming up in August, and we'll tell you more about that as we get a little closer. It's the Tom Taylor Sports Show again on this Wednesday. We've got our thought for the day coming up from Larry Kaiser, Nationwide Insurance. Got 2 quarterbacks to talk about. NFL, Marcus Mariota. Got it?
Yep, and there you go.
And Johnny Manziel. Now, let's start with Manziel.
Okay.
What's your take on the Browns quarterback? Again, he's with his team for the first time. He's on field with teammates for the first time before media following his rehab stint. He played very poorly last year, 22-year-old. So can Johnny Manziel do it? Does he have what it takes to be a successful quarterback in the National Football League?
If he is genuinely sincere about putting the team and his teammates over his off-the-field issues, which we all very aware of. The guy likes to party. He likes to go out. He likes to spend money. He likes to, party, drink, all that fun stuff. And he more or less his football game and quarterbacking skills suffer as a result. Now, I was never a Johnny Manziel fan. I was under the belief that Texas A&M, the system that he was in, he was more of a product of the system than he was actually that talented and skillful. He's not a very big person, and when he got drafted, I thought when Cleveland drafted him, here continues their streak of horrible quarterbacks that they have drafted. I thought it was a mistake from the get-go, and he proved me right on that. He was still trying to play like he was at Texas A&M, and he's got to understand that the linebackers and the corners in the NFL, they're a whole lot faster than the guys than even in the SEC.
Yeah.
So, as a result, he ended up getting hurt and missing out on the rest of the season. I think after he started 4 or 5 games, he was not impressive in any one of those games at any moment. And I think that his teammates, they were able to realize, even sense that he did not have their best intentions at heart. He was there to do him and what he wanted and get what he wanted out of this entire situation. And if I thought that he willingly, a few months ago checked himself into rehab. I think that was the first start, a good step in the right direction as far as trying to make himself not so dependent on the partying lifestyle that the NFL can bring you, that professional sports in America can bring you. And if he is genuinely sincere about wanting to be a successful NFL quarterback, the jury's still out on that. But as far as I'm concerned, I still don't think that the Browns have a quarterback to play football. I think McCown's going to get the start in week 1, and I don't see Manziel having a good NFL career. I think that it might be done after this season.
Well, there you go, because they went out and got some other quarterbacks in the offseason, the free agency market. That tells me that I'm totally sold on this guy. Unlike Mariota, who's now the king. Well, he's still competing with the other quarterback, but everything points towards Mariota getting the ball handed to him to be the starting quarterback. So I don't think the Browns are sold on this guy. I don't think he has what it takes to be successful in the National Football League. And I think he's going to be like Eric Couch, a guy that played for Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
Heck of an athlete, set all these records in Nebraska. A heck of a team leader for the Cornhuskers back in the day. Got to the NFL and just couldn't cut it.
Mm-mm.
I don't think RG3 can do it either. What's your take on Griffin?
I think RG3, unfortunately for him, very injury prone. That knee. Ever since his rookie season, he had a great rookie season, busted out, did very well for himself. I was very impressed. I was more or less shocked that he was playing this well, but the Redskins organization so horrifically mismanaged his knee injury, and that they're in that playoff game that they had against the Seahawks, which was a phenomenal football, the wild card game when the Seahawks had to travel to Washington to play the Redskins. Went to overtime, great football game. RG3, though, ended up tearing his ACL there at the very end of the game and, knocked him out until next season. And the Redskins, more or less, to me, they rushed him right back in without him being fully prepared. And poor Robert Griffin, he's very well-spoken, very nice guy. I wish that he had been able to have a little bit more successful of a career, but right now it just doesn't look very good for RG3. I think the guy's injury-prone. And now I think the worst possible thing, other than a physical injury that could happen to you, I think mentally he's starting to struggle with it. I think his confidence is down, and I think that once you lose your confidence, that's not something easy to get back, And unfortunately for him and for Gruden and the rest of the Redskins, I don't see RG3 being there much longer.
It's the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Thanks for being with us on this Wednesday. It's Hump Day. Of course, later on we'll put it up on podcast and out into the Cyber Nebulous. We'll be up on iTunes and TuneIn Radio, and also we'll be able to you'll be able to see us and watch us and hear us on Stitcher phone app and also YouTube. All that coming up again once the show's over here in just a little while. The thought for the day is from our buddy Larry Kaiser from Nationwide Insurance. Again, it is a neat saying for the day. We make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give. I like it. We make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give. We're to be giving back, always giving back to the cause, whatever that cause may be that you want to be a part of. But we make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give. Very good from Larry Kaiser, the Big Easy we call him. One of the programs they offer at Larry Kaiser Nationwide Insurance is renter's insurance. Now, affordable coverage that offers a sense of relief. If you rent, did you know your landlord's insurance may not cover what's inside your home? You make the assumption. I saw this firsthand with someone in my family that was a renter, and their apartment or their condo caught on fire, and they made the assumption that the landlord's insurance would cover this, this, and this, and it didn't. It was a very sobering and valuable lesson. So if you're a renter, understand your landlord's insurance may not cover what's inside your home. With Nationwide Renters Insurance, you and your personal property are protected from events such as fire, lightning, vandalism, falling objects, hail and windstorm. Look what's going on down in Texas right now with all the rain and the hail and the windstorms, theft at your residence, smoke damage, accidental electrical damage to your appliances. Coverage can be extended to also cover if you have firearms, important papers, silverware, goldware, money, coins, gold, jewelry, watches, and furs. Also, in addition to that, renter's insurance can help with liability issues, such as someone getting injured in your home or the property of others getting damaged while it's on your property. So check it out, and you do. Renter's insurance available at Larry Kaiser Nationwide Insurance at 282-1389, 282-1389, or you can go and email him at Kaiser, K-I-S-E-R-L, at nationwide.com and ask him about renter's insurance. Get a free quote from Larry Kaiser Nationwide Insurance. Again, the thought for the day is we make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give. And I like that and like that a lot. Coming up, we're going to check in again with the most successful female pro stock driver in NHRA history. She's going to join us coming up here in a few minutes. Also tomorrow, going to be joined by Julie Bennett from the Bristol Dragway. Also tomorrow's show, David Crum from the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency officer. Again, the Bears are still on the move, and the Bears are out there, and they're still, he said usually by the first or maybe the middle of June, they start to go back up in the mountains. They're out, coming out of hibernation, and they're looking for nuts and berries and fruits, and so they're down here looking in our neck of the woods, or we're actually in their neck of the woods, I guess. They were here first, and so the Bears are still on the move. We'll talk to Crum about that coming up tomorrow. If you missed yesterday's show, we heard from Graham Clark, head football coach at Dobbins Minute, talking about spring practice. Also yesterday, if you missed the show, Milligan College's Chris Lane, the track and field coach, they finished 21st in the country. And so we're always telling you and showing you and giving you guests both locally and nationally. Also, earlier in the week, we heard from Carl Edwards, who won the Coca-Cola 600 on Sunday night. Heard from Joe Gibbs. Heard from Terry Labonte, who got inducted into the NASCAR Hall of Fame or got voted in or nominated to be in the NASCAR Hall of Fame. Also, yesterday, we heard from Marcus Smith, speaking on behalf of his daddy, Bruton Smith, who also is going into the NASCAR Hall of Fame. And also, yesterday, we heard from Kyle Busch, who, again, had a nice run coming back after the injury and staying in the car for the 600 laps, again, at the Coca-Cola 600. Again, they all move. Starting tomorrow, practice begins. It's a triple-header week. Again, practice begins from the Monster Mile in Dover for the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, the Xfinity Series, and the Camping World Truck Series. So who's your favorite driver besides Tony Stewart?
Oh, goodness. I'd probably have to go with Harvick.
Okay.
I see that upsets you. It ain't Kyle Busch, I'll tell you that
Oh,
much.
come on. He's the best driver out there.
Yeah,
what are you talking about? What are you smoking? The guy can drive. Him and Matt Kenseth can drive a race car.
I like Kenseth.
Why don't you like Busch? What is it that people don't like? He backs up what he says.
He's smug. He's just smug, and I don't like him.
Okay.
I don't like him.
All right. You know, you're not doing good trying to get back in here next week. You're not. You've been on me about you got on me about the Spurs. You got on me about my Raiders Crocs. I want to order off the Raiders merchandise
I'm not the
website.
only one that's getting on you about the Crocs.
Yeah, but
either.
I'm looking over at you. Wyman don't count. Wyman's a client. He's going to be okay. I can put up with his guff, but you're over there giving me a bunch of static.
I'm just trying to make this a little bit more intriguing and interesting right now.
Spurs got on about that. The Raiders all over about that.
The landfill that they're building
the
stadium
landfill,
on.
the stadium on out in California.
Yeah.
Thank you. So and now you're on me about my driver, Kyle Busch. So, wow. What days are you coming in here on Tuesdays? Are you scheduled to be here? Okay.
Tuesdays.
Yeah, we may see if we can't work on that and see. But for now, he'll be back on Tuesday, I guess. Now I got to leave with this. We go to the break after the Charlotte and heading into Dover. Guess who's on top of the leaderboard? Harvick. Yeah. Then Truex Jr., then Joey Logano, then Dale Jr., then Jimmy Johnson, then Brad Keselowski, then Matt Kenseth, then Jamie McMurray, then Jeff Gordon, and Casey Kane, the top 10 there. All right. Xfinity Series heading to Dover. Chris Buescher, Roush Fenway Racing. They got 4 drivers in the top 10 right now. Buescher, then Ty Dillon, 4 points behind in the Xfinity Series. Chase Elliott, the defending champ, he is currently third. Darrell Wallace Jr., Roush Fenway Racing, fourth. Regan Smith, fifth. Elliott Sadler, he's a good guy. He is currently sixth in points. Brian Scott, seventh. Ryan Reed, eighth. Ninth is Daniel Suarez, and 10th is Brendan Gaughan. That's in the Xfinity Series. And the Camping World Truck Series heading off again to race in Dover this weekend. Matt Crafton, Eric Jones, Tyler Reddick, Johnny Salter, and John West Townley, the top 5. Then comes Timothy Peters, Cameron Haley, Justin Boston, Spencer Gallagher, and Daniel Hemrick are the top 5. The top 10. The Camping World Truck Series heading off again to Dover this weekend. All right, here's a little trivia question for you. I don't know if Nope, I didn't do this. I did the horse with you. Biggest college football crowd.
As in stadium capacity?
Yeah, what do you think the number is? Largest crowd. You don't have to get it exact, but get a ballpark number. Largest crowd. It was Michigan and Notre Dame in 2013 at the Big House in Ann Arbor.
115,000.
We've done this.
No, we haven't.
Yes, we have.
No, we haven't.
There's no way you could have got that.
I'm sorry. I'm good.
No, you did.
Yeah, I did. We've never done this before.
Yes, you have.
No, I
haven't.
haven't.
You couldn't have got that. You hit it right on. 115,109. Yeah, see there? The big house.
What can I say?
I knew it. We've already done this.
We have not done
We
this.
did this last week. Yes,
no,
we
did.
didn't.
Yes, no, we did not. I can guarantee.
Yep.
Horace will back me up on this. We did not do this.
Horace is out to pasture, so no, he's not here today. So.
I'd see. Now I'm just
115,109. How did you get that? Really?
I know that the big house has about a 112,000 capacity.
Yeah.
Throw in a few thousand standing room only tickets there, and you're at 115.
So fast forward to the tape till next September at Bristol Motor Speedway. They're talking 160,000 for the biggest college football game ever. Can't wait. And so that's an increase. What's 60 minus 15? 45?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 45,000 more.
That'll blow that out of the water.
Oh, at least 45,000
blow it out of the
more.
water.
Yeah. So anyway, point to all this is if you're interested in getting tickets to go see the Battle of Bristol football game, you would want to call 423-BRISTOL or go to bristoltix.com. And you would want to do that and find out how you can get in the running to get tickets that are rapidly selling out, I can tell you that. And they are moving them like hotcakes because it will be, as we said, the biggest college football game ever. Over 160,000, which will, as Gable said, will exceed the current record by at least 40,000 or 45,000 fans. So it's going to be a special, special day. And I know the Speedway folks are working on this to make it just more than just a football game. It's going to be an all-day event. And I can't tell you about any of the details, but it's going to be an all-day event at Bristol Motor Speedway in September of 2016. A little over a year and a half from now, it's going to be the game of the century twixt the Volunteers of Tennessee and the Hokies of Virginia Tech. Going to take a quick break. As promised, we will come back and we will get you ready to meet and hear from a young lady who is, again, the most successful. I want to make sure I get this right. The most successful female pro stock driver in NHRA history. Coming up next, Erica Enders-Stevens. She joins us next on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Life has its twists and turns. It can take many different shapes. But a good retirement plan changes with your life. And as we talk about what you're putting away and how much you'll need to retire, what was uncertain becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today. Your life is always changing. You never know what shape it will take, or how your financial needs might change. But if we talk about your investments and how they can provide for you and your family, the future becomes clear. At Wells Fargo Advisors, we believe conversation leads to financial clarity. Let's start a conversation today.
From the driveways where your kids play basketball and ride their bicycles, to the parking lots at your local church or grocery store, Bracken Paving is an important part of many neighborhoods in our area. No matter how large or how small the job, Bracken strives for excellence in every service they provide. It's a foundation for a strong community. Discover the difference at Bracken Paving and Asphalt Maintenance. Give us a call or visit us online at brackenpaving.com.
At FCA, we're touching millions one heart at a time. Since 1954, the Fellowship of Christian Athletes has been putting the heart and soul in sports by challenging athletes and coaches to impact the world for Jesus Christ. As the largest sports ministry in the world, FCA now reaches over 2 million people annually on the professional, college, high school, junior high, and youth levels. Through this shared passion for athletics and faith, lives are changed, one heart at a time. Learn more at fca.org.
Driver in NHRA history, Erica Enders-Stevens. And Erica, hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Just fine. Thank you for checking in with us. Appreciate your time. went back as reading your bio. Pretty impressive stuff. Again, anything you have gotten involved in, you have worked very hard to be successful. Everything from selling Girl Scout cookies to, oh gosh, I love that part where you're the #1 Girl Scout cookie seller. And also, having never met you, the volleyball story. This is awesome. Tell me about the volleyball story from high school.
Oh, okay. I played sports my whole life, not just drag racing, and volleyball was one of my favorites. I was a sophomore in high school, and I tore my rotator cuff and a couple tendons in my right shoulder, and I really wanted to play, so I actually went through rehab, had surgery, did all that, and was unable to play with my right hand anymore because of my rotator cuff. I injured it again, so I taught myself to play left-handed, and during the off season, and came back junior and senior year and played as a left-hander.
And not only did you play, you made second team All-District. I thought that was awesome. You told your folks that I'm going to play my senior year, and you did, and that tells me you're a bulldog and you're stubborn, you got some tenacity, and then you move. Yeah.
Yes, sir. I'm definitely stubborn, and I do have tenacity. When people tell me I can't do something, it just gives me all the more reason to dig deep and get it done, and that's just my mentality, I guess.
We need more folks like you, and my next question again is for the young ladies out there that get a chance to watch you week in and week out. I would think you'd be a role model for a lot of folks, and in particular the young ladies in our country. Tell me about that.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I feel pretty blessed to be in a position where, kids can look up to us and, admire what we do, I guess. I mean, I grew up at the racetrack watching my dad drive, and then started racing junior dragsters when I was 8 years old, and since then have been driving, every kind of car I could get in. So, I had female drivers that I looked up to, Shirley Muldowney and Shelly Anderson and Angel, and I get to see those kids like with the same look in their eye that I had for those women drivers. So, I'm proud to be in the position that we are.
Awesome. Giving me goosebumps. We're talking to Erica Ender-Stevens. Again, she's coming to town for the Thunder Valley Nationals with all the good folks in the NHRA and Bristol Dragway coming up soon. The movie, got to ask you about the movie. Right on Track. You were a part of that along with your sister, Courtney. It's become the most watched movie in Disney Channel history. Once again, you've touched something and turned to gold. Tell me about it.
You're too kind. I mean, Disney did a series of movies about females in male-dominated sports. One was motocross, where a girl motocross racer cut her hair to kind of fit in and be like one of the boys. And then there was Double Teamed, where the twin sisters made it to the WNBA. So ours was the third in that series of movies. And, when Disney contacted us, it was kind of like, do you have the right phone number? Are you calling the right people? But it was a 5-year-long project from the time they called us till the time the movie was released. And it's actually been right over 10 years since it came out, and it still airs on the Disney Channel today, but it's just kind of a little life story of my sister and I's time in the Junior Drag Racing League.
Awesome young lady. Again, she is not that old, and she has accomplished a lot already. She's been at it since she was 8 years old. So tell me, you're the 2014 Pro Stock champion. You're coming back to Bristol as the reigning Pro Stock winner. What's that mean to Erica Ender-Stevens to come back to Bristol having won it a year ago?
I'm really excited. I mean, I'm not just saying it, but Bristol is one of my favorite tracks in the country. It's an awesome place to come. It's a beautiful facility. It's state of the art. I mean, if people haven't had the opportunity to go out there and watch us, you need to make a point of it. It's a fun weekend for the entire family. Kids get in free, but coming back as the defending champion is pretty exciting because of the way our season's going so far this year. I mean, the drivers tend to have tracks that they're lucky at, and for some reason, some things always seem to work out. But last year we won in Vegas and in Houston, and so far this year we come back as defending champions in those two cities and won both of those races as well. So I'm hoping the trend continues into Bristol at Thunder Valley, but we definitely got our work cut out for us. Pro Stock's a competitive class, but we'll just do our best and see if we can come out on top again.
Absolutely. The first woman to win the Pro Stock Championship. Tell me about a typical race day. What do you typically do? Is there any particular things you eat? Are you superstitious? You got to do the same thing every race weekend? What's it like for you on race day?
Yeah, all those things pretty much. I mean, we get up pretty early and head out to the track as a team, and we've got a guy that flies our plane, and he also cooks for us. So he cooks us a big breakfast on Sunday morning, and we all eat together, and go through the same warm up. You got to weigh and go through the gears in your car, warm up the transmission, stuff like that. And driver introductions are about an hour before the race starts, and from that point on, I just head back to my pit and get ready, get dressed. And as far as superstitions go, I don't know if I might be a little bit superstitious, but I always put my gear on in the same order and have the same firing procedure to get the car started. And that way, there's a million steps that you have to go through, and if you miss one, it could be detrimental. So I always try to do everything in the same order so I don't forget anything. And positive attitude has a lot to do with how you perform. So, granted, things can happen and change that, but I just always try to think about what I want and not let negative thoughts creep in, and just, I do a lot of visualizing. So in our pit area before the race starts, I sit in the car and just pretend I'm up there racing, foot on the clutch pedal, hand on the shifter, and just go through runs over and over and over.
Can't wait to meet this young lady when they come to town. Again, tickets are available by simply going to Thunder Valley TIX.com or call 423-BRISTOL. You can stop by, or not stop by and see it, but come and spend the weekend and watch the greatest in the NHRA, including the most successful female pro stock driver in NHRA history. Erica, thank you for your time. You're an awesome young lady. You're a role model. You're stubborn. You're a bulldog. You're all those adjectives in a positive way, and we need more of you out there, and your type of tenacity and the willingness to not take no for an answer. And so we appreciate you very, very much, and continued success, and good luck when you come to Bristol, all right?
Well, thank you so much. I enjoyed talking to you, and I look forward to meeting you.
Yep, neat lady right there again. She is the most successful female pro stock driver in NHRA history. Got to get up there to check her out when they come to town again for Thunder Valley Nationals. And you heard about her right here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Are you right-handed or left-handed?
I'm right-handed.
Imagine that you're playing volleyball. I think it's really cool. I don't even know about an HRA, but imagine you're playing volleyball. You tear out your rotator cuff or tear it up, can't go, and they say, well, you're done. She says, no, I'm going to play volleyball next year. This is her junior year in high school. I'm going to play next year. Nah, can't play. Yes. So she did the whole summer learning how to play left-handed and ended up being second-team all-district. So I thought, as soon as I read that in her bio, I thought, this lady's tougher than a pine knot.
Yep.
So anyway, right here is the seating, and look at it. Can they see it on the camera?
Yeah, I got it.
Get up here a little closer. Yeah, the seating arrangement. Is that good?
Yeah, you got your fan on high here.
That's all right. It's hot in there. It's muggy. It's all this hot air about those Raiders Crocs you're all over me about. So can you see? Can they see that?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So that's what we need to do. You need to check out. That's the schematics. Just go to Bristol Dragway. You can check out all the different ticket prices. They start as low as $25 to get you to, again, the NHRA Thunder Valley Nationals, 423 Bristol, or go to ThunderValleyTix.com. And again, tickets start, let's see, on Sunday, the 21st, in a particular seating section, starts as low as $25 a ticket. And it goes all the way up to, let's see, I guess you can, for a 3-day combo, which is the way to go. They start at $79 for adults, $25 for kids, and they go up. So check them out. It's very affordable, and it's a lot of fun. Thunder Valley, BristolDragway.com. Again, the NHRA Thunder Valley Nationals coming to the hills of East Tennessee Father's Day weekend. Again, go to ThunderValleyTix.com or call them at 423-BRISTOL and get your tickets for the NHRA Thunder Valley Nationals. Again, thanks to Erica Enders-Stevens. What a nice young lady and a fun interview, and I'm looking forward to meeting her coming up in a couple of weeks. Alex Rodriguez, baseball this afternoon, climbed another leaderboard, had a 3-run homer off the Royals' Chris Young in the third inning, moved into sole possession, a third place on the career RBI list. And what do you think about that? You think this guy should be in the Hall of Fame? He just passed Lou Gehrig. Only ones ahead of him in the RBI department is Hammer and Hank Aaron, and another guy shouldn't be up there, Barry Bonds. So in the top 5 all-time RBIs, Hank Aaron, Barry Bonds, Alex Rodriguez now, Lou Gehrig, and Babe Ruth. What do you say?
Well, I think that I'd be a lot more willing to accept it with A-Rod if he hadn't have gone this entire, however many years of denying that he used steroids. Yeah, I think that Andy Pettitte would be the prime example. He, when confronted with it, He didn't do what so many others did, which was adamantly deny that he ever touched the stuff. He said, no, it's true. I did it. I'm sorry that I did it. I wish I hadn't. I made a mistake. And what happened? I mean, people still do not talk poorly of Andy Pettitte. He is a highly respected pitcher that, for the Yankees. And I think that if more players had gone that route instead of going the Barry Bonds / Roger Clemens route / A-Rod route of vehemently denying that they ever touched the stuff, that a lot more people would be forgiving on the matter. And I think that as a result of that, when A-Rod passed Willie Mays on the all-time home run list a few weeks ago, you didn't hear about it. No one talked about it. It was just kind of forgotten.
Yeah.
And that's a big deal. You're passing Willie Mays on the all-time home run list. There's only 5 other guys that have done that.
Yeah, could care less.
If that, ESPN and people that would eat that kind of stuff up just didn't talk about it.
No.
And I think that is his punishment. And I think that possibly not being in the Hall of Fame is going to be his punishment, along with Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens and these guys that, while on the ballot, they're not getting voted for because they not only did they cheat the game, they lied about cheating in the game.
There you go. Well put. We're talking to Gabe Hackett. He's about to wrap this thing up. Old Gabe's going to be back with us on Tuesday. Horace back in the saddle tomorrow and Friday. NCAA just come into us has released its annual academic progress rate scores. Once again, a few schools not able to meet proper standards. 4 schools who failed to clear the minimum APR multi-year bar of 930 points will be ineligible for postseason play next year. Those schools are out of the South will be Alcorn State, Florida A&M, Stetson out of the Atlantic Sun, and Central Arkansas. These 4 schools combined for a total of 19 wins last season. And so as a result, these programs must now clear a 4-year APR average of 930 or a 2-year average of 940 to be eligible for postseason play. So these 4 schools are going to be ineligible for postseason play next season because the academic report or lack thereof, not able to meet proper academic standards set forth by the NCAA, Alcorn State, Florida A&M, Stetson, and Central Arkansas. These 4 schools are going to be ineligible for postseason play next year, which they're cracking down on it. That's, I guess when you look at it, that is the ultimate goal, is to get a scholarship when you go to college, not to win games, not to get a scholarship, but get a diploma and graduate. And so these schools are not doing their due diligence in getting these guys and girls ready. And so they're going to be ineligible next season in their conferences. Alcorn State plays in the SWAC, the SWAC, Florida A&M in the MEAC, Stetson in the Atlantic Sun, and Central Arkansas in the Southland Conference. So here you go. Last season had 8 schools barred from postseason play due to poor APR scores, and Central Arkansas and Florida A&M are repeat offenders. Oh, that's not good. So 2 years in a row, Central Arkansas and Florida A&M are repeat offenders of academic, substandard academic scores for their school. So you like that? You like the fact they're going to hold their feet to the fire?
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. I do too. That's what they're there for. You get a diploma and graduate. All right, about out of time. Fast show as always. One more time, the big league scoreboard. Run them down for us. The Reds were trailing big earlier in the show. Where are they now?
Don't hold your breath, but it's the bottom of the 8th. They're only down 6-3, and they've got the bases loaded with 1 out. So they have a chance to tie this sucker back up, maybe even win. That could be a 2-game win streak right there. But in other scores, you got the Indians absolutely demolishing the Rangers 12-3. The Pirates are beating the Marlins 5-2 in the bottom of the 8th. Also in the 8th inning, the White Sox are beating the Blue Jays 3-1. The Yankees are on top of the Royals 4-1 in the 6th. Minnesota still beating the Red Sox 6-4. That game's in the 7th. The Mets are taking it to the Phillies 7-0 in the 6th. Bottom of the 8th, and the Seattle Mariners and the Tampa Bay Rays are still all tied up at 0-0, as are the Giants and the Brewers tied up 0-0 in the bottom of the 4th.
All right. That'll do it for this Wednesday edition of the show. Again, tonight it'll be up for you to watch, podcasting into the Cyber Nebulous, as we call it. That'll be on iTunes, TuneIn Radio, Also, Stitcher phone app, and also YouTube. You can watch it and listen to it on those outlets. I'm back tomorrow live from 1 to 3 on live stream. Horace will be back with us tomorrow on Friday. Gabe's back in the saddle next Tuesday. Cody's back in the saddle theoretically next Wednesday, although he had some commitments today, couldn't do it, and the Gable man jumped in there and said, I can help you out, and I appreciate that. Show brought to you by Bracket Asphalt Maintenance. Again, Center Street Wealth Management Group, Wells Fargo, Greg Taylor and Jeff Bedford and Natalie Wells and Tim Colvin, Bays Mountain Park, Max Medicine Mart, Cherokee Barbershop, Bristol Motor Speedway and Dragway, American Import and Auto Repair, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, Kingsport Cabinetry, Bristol Orthotics and Prosthetics, Larry Kaiser Nationwide Insurance, and by Book Lovers Warehouse. And don't forget the Gator Man is open until 5:30 today, getting your ears lowered. And again, you can do that very simply on South Roan Street, right down from Tipton Haynes Farm, Cherokee Barbershop, 8:30 to 5, Monday through Friday, and then, Tuesday through Friday, and Saturdays from 8:30 to 1. And the haircuts are free. A cup of coffee costs you $11. Get to keep the cup. Straight razors, shaves, hot towels, back massages, and shoulder rubs. It's all available from the man we simply call Gator from Cherokee Barbershop on South Roan Street in Johnson City. Again, right down from Tipton Haynes Working Farm. And when the barber pulls out, the Gator man's in the house cutting hair and cuts a bunch of it, but there's room for you. Gabe, good job, my friend. Back at it, what, next Tuesday? Is that correct?
Next Tuesday.
Yeah. Raiders, Crocs, not so much.
Not so much. I hope not. I hope
there
not.
You go. All right. Hit the magic button. We're out of here. We are out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Back another 2 hours tomorrow. Having a big time, national, local sports. And we thank you very much for being with us. And as always, we'll tell you, win or lose, be a good sport. Thanks for being with us right here on this Wednesday edition of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. So long, everybody.